You are very defensive, Whitney.
I have to be, Wendy. You talk about me every f***ing day.
I can't be played. The person trying to play me plays themselves.
Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper.
The bitch in the room that you don't mess with and don't fuck with is me.
Look at this mofo.
Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper.
Troll up in a fucking attic in fucking Andover.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke.
And the other guy, fucking Wolfgang. I mean, tell him to get the dick out of his mouth when he talks. Wolfgang, whatever his name is.
What's your name, B.O.B., so they calling you Bob? Stop playing, or you do know that I'm known for the Bob.
First off, oh my God, can you let me do what I need to do?
Yeah.
Now, oh my God.
I will run out of cigarettes. I'm not going to smoke anymore.
You swear. You swear. We don't want any swearing. It would have to be a promise.
A prom.
And when you what's prom?
Half a prom.
Look at that fucking haircut. Seriously.
And you would know what it takes to run a business, but you don't.
I don't know.
Die kenne ich nicht. You ready, B? Let's go get him. Look for me.
I figured this might happen, so I went out and bought a cheesecake.
Oh, you're not back in fucking 8th grade. Get a fucking haircut. Get a fucking real haircut. You're a mother, for Christ's sake. Get a haircut.
Get back, motherfucker, you don't know me like that. Get back, motherfucker, you don't know me like that.
Fucking nut. You are a nut. Giggle. Oh, I'm giggling. I'm giggling. I'm going to be a little fucking ditz. I'm a ditzy girl.
He's out of his league the minute he even thinks about trying to even approach Auntie Deb. She's going to freaking lay him out in the lavender.
There's no coming back from Auntie Deb, man.
No, that's a death now. Final boss.
Gentle, you are not trying to cause problems, but you'll sting. Okay.
I'm afraid of Auntie. I am.
Oh.
We all are.
We all are.
Yeah.
Of me?
Yeah.
That's assault.
She says that Aunt Deb, is it Aunt Deb, Jimmy? Jimmy likes you, Sean. I said, well, I'd hate to see what he'd be like if he didn't like me.
Jay Carp sends $10 and goes, Auntie Deb is a meanie. Yeah. Auntie Deb is a meanie. I know. He's sassy and fresh.
Jesus,
Who's this diva? Who's this diva? Because I know there's some new ones coming around these parts. This is the first time. This is the first time they're learning about this. Who's this? Because the whole crowd's doing it. Because now everyone wants to do it, so you can jump on the bandwagon. I know you. I know you, and you're not going to like anything I have to say. And I'm telling you right now, I'm on to you. I say one wrong thing, and you're going to drop me like a bad habit. You're going to drop me like a hot fucking potato.
I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of cases. Oh hell, I go at my own paces. A trooper, his name was Paul. He had a Queen Bev Rules poster on his wall. He asked me to join him at the policeman's ball, and he'd buy me a claw at the waterfall. Yannetti spaghetti, built like a horse, needs to get the last word in, of course. And now, the Hill's representing. When he gets out of line, Mr. Jackson, no commenting. He acts and says, who cares, I'm rich. If I give a little lip, he shouts, pull up, bitch. Bukaki, he's not Pooper Tractor. Big Benny Ben, that's who I'm after. None of them deny that I got the X Factor. It's the Great White Shark Super Attractor. Oh my goodness. Is it the end of the day? Monday? When's the 4th? Okay, sidebar right now. Is this fall on deaf ears? A lot of traffic for the Get to sidebar right now. If you're cruising down the pike, I'll allow it sight. Rally, watch the stop. Really do a sidebar. Because if you see a blonde crab walking by you, ha! That's Bev the Overrider, dressed in all black with a ciggy in my bag. Lunatics up in here, I call the idea. All the court fees you could never afford. Sitting pretty, baby, Madam Court Reporter. 7 a.m. my scone's full of cream. If you don't speak up, I'm turning off the fan. Turn it off. Call up my ex from back in the day. Cause nothing goes better with crab than Old Bay. Straight out of UMass to Norfolk I reign. Days off when I want, this is crab domain. Deliberate again till I let us proceed. And you'll catch me saying, this is funny, Miss Reed. All right, this is my friggin' courtroom. I ain't fucking around. You heard me. My courtroom. That's what I thought.
Hello. Hello. What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because sometimes I'll go on a diatribe and no one can fucking hear me. No, is it yes? Yes. No. No. Yes. All right, well, I'll just figure it out. I'll just talk and then I'll figure it out. So tonight we have a very, very special guest. And when I'm talking special guest, I mean motherfucking special guest. If you have fun here, if you enjoy coming here, if you like hanging out here, right, shooting the shit, talking the shit, doing the thing, you have our guest tonight to thank. No word of a fucking lie. He is the reason I decided to be like, you know what? You know what? This don't look so bad. This don't look so fucking bad. So when I first came on the low sound, says Amanda. Amanda says low sound. Let me speak up. Let me speak up for you. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, mic volume is down. That's why. There you go, kid. There you go. That should be better. That should be better. Is that better? Is that fucking better? Okay. So when I first started making, right, Emma versus Karen Reed season 1 videos, it was just on TikTok. I would just pop them up right up there on TikTok, right? And people would like take them and they put them on Twitter and do this and do that or whatever. And I would never was on YouTube, never did the YouTube game, never was in the YouTube streets, nothing. Never did anything like that. One of our guests had a moderator that I actually knew. I was a bartender and I knew them from like the restaurant. They messaged me and they were like, hey, would you ever want to go? It was in June. I remember it was early June of last year. They were like, would you ever go on Mazza's show? And I was like, yeah, why? Did someone ask? And they were like, yeah, like they want to have him on. I was like, shit, okay. When I'm telling you, I spent that entire day preparing, doing a costume change, this, characters, lines, because I wanted to make it fun. Mazza made it so comfortable for me when I was there, asked good questions, said this, like the most phenomenal interview ever. It was my first appearance on YouTube and probably one of my favorites. He's the GOAT. He's an OG. He's an OG. I mean, everyone is doing the Karen Reed thing these days, right? When I think of OGs, I think of Turtle Boy. I think of The Glarer. I think of Mike Crawford. I think of Young Jerks. And I think of Mazza. That's who I think of instantly off the top of my head. So when I started doing these interviews, I was like, God, how full circle, like how cool would it be if my homeboy Mazza came on here? Melanie, yes, I see that. Melanie, yes, she is an OG, but that's not who I go to. I go to the guys. I don't know why. I just go to the guys. Listen, Melanie made her own fucking lane. Melanie came in here and said, oh, you don't have a girl? Let me just take all the views for you guys during the day. Okay, see you later, little kids. See ya. Different lane. Different lane. Yes, and if I didn't mention anyone else, it means I hate them. It means I hate them. So I was like, how cool would it be to get him on? So I begged him to come on. I asked him. He's like, all right. He gave me a whole list of stipulations. He had a rider. Okay, he had a rider. He was like, can't be too early. I don't need this. I want this. I need a fucking plate of wings in my dressing room. Okay, all this shit. I was like, damn, you're a diva, but all right. If I want to bring the diva on, I have to abide by the diva rules. That's fine with me. I'm blabbing enough. Let's get the man of the hour out here. We're going to shoot the shit. Okay? We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to talk, do a little commercial. Come back, play a fun game. and then we're going to call it a night. But I just wanted to have a nice conversation with Mazza Media. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me to introduce Mr. Mark Mazza Media.
All right. Good evening. How are you?
Dude, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for having me on your show.
No.
This is a first time, I think. I'm not sure if I've been on your show. I've been on shows with you plenty of times, Nurse Kim's show and a few others. But yeah, it's the first time I've been on your show. Last year I had you on mine. This year I'm on yours, and I like the recap. And with me, I'm so serious a lot of times when I talk about this case that I don't want to I do have a humorous side, but I shield it so much. And I'm like, I saw you, and I'm like, I like all this humor. I'm like, somebody needs to have him on a show. And I'm like, I think, like I said, a mod or whatever intertwined, and we kind of found our way to kind of message each other. That's right. I remember getting your email from somebody, whomever that mod was, and I can't remember now for some reason, but no disrespect to that mod.
Sarah.
Awesome. Was it Sarah? Oh, it was Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes, Sarah. That's right. Yep. And then I remember saying yeah, let's get connected. Let's do a show because we all needed the humor. It was so, I think with this case, Saturday Night Live is not picking up on this at all. But with Saturday Night Live, whether you love them or hate them, but what they've always been good for is, or they're best for, is parodizing tense moments in our country, whether that's politics, love the politicians or hate them. Their spoofs have always been really funny. And I saw you online doing all these skits and all this stuff. I'm like, this is exactly what we need. And I go, I need to have Auntie Deb on my show because we just need the humor. And people said they never saw me laugh so much when I was hosting my own show as I did, but it was a riot. And your parodies or spoofs or impersonations, I should say, are really funny as hell, man. It's funny.
I remember being like, my goal was, I didn't give a fuck if everyone hated it. My goal was to make you laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he breaks character, if he breaks out of his Mazza Media, because before I went on, I watched a shit ton of your shows, and I was like, oh, he's serious. He's a serious guy. But I'm like, I gotta get him to crack.
Yeah.
And I remember I did, and I was like, yes, now I can relax. Like now I could chill and like hang out or whatever. But you said the same thing when you had me on. You were like, we have things like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
We need something for like a break from this bullshit.
Right. I knew you were going to, you were already kind of exploding at that point, but I knew you'd explode in a YouTube sense after that, because it was funny stuff. And I think that too, it was, I get serious. Like I actually have a very big comedic side. I don't really show it on a lot of shows, if ever, because I'm just, I go into Dark Knight Batman mode when it comes to the Karen Reed case. It's really serious to me. And I just shield like that comedy side of me, but I do have a pretty big sense of humor.
Your turkey impersonation was the first time I saw it.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
The South Park turkeys.
Yeah. I can't remember what I did that in relation to. Yeah.
I forget what.
Yeah.
But I remember listening to it. You're on the Young Turks, or you were on yours, and you did it. And I was like, this funny motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It was funny stuff. And I had a little bit of I don't want to say I had a parody all prepared for one of the people on the other side that's been in the courtroom lately, and basically in relation to the way they were acting earlier this week. But I'm not going to go public with that. That's for sure. But
what? You did not? Did you really?
No, I didn't prepare it for the show, but I had a little bit of an idea of how to spoof somebody, basically relating them to basically a high school principal disciplining a child in the office about having gum in class, and basically making a big deal out of it and asking them a ridiculous amount of questions that are unnecessary. So if you know who I'm talking about this past week, that's who I'm kind of a little bit spoofing a little bit. But yeah, it's been a crazy week in court. It's been crazy just to see this case back, this trial back, this retrial back has been really really shocking. I think even for me mentally, I think I've been in denial for the past 3 or 4 months about like, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Some people be like, well, Mazza, you must be excited that, it's a second trial and your YouTube audience is going to explode even more than it has. I'm like, no, I'm not. You don't understand. Like, no, I just don't want to see Karen go through this again. Rating viewership is up for everybody, but at the same time, I was like, oh my God, I don't feel like seeing Karen go through this again. And trust me, the episode, all the shows I was on during the last trial, that wore me down. I mean, that took a toll. It's not easy to work a full-time job and then catch up on everything and then hop on a show for sometimes 2 hours or sometimes multiple shows in a day. It was That was one of the first thoughts I had when the mistrial was announced. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have to go through all this again. And it was exhausting. But at the same time, I was also just kind of scaling back. I kind of had some thoughts. I'm like, I'm going to scale it back. This trial is, it can be tough. It can be tough to see everybody doing shows. And a lot of times I'm not on them. I'm not I've turned down a lot of shows in recent history. A lot of people are reaching out, and quite coincidentally, you were reaching out to me unbeknownst to you at a time where I was actually already working on coming back to join Brian's show as a guest, and you had actually messaged me almost like right around that time. It was about 3 weeks in the works. Yeah. And I was really like analytically plotting what I was going to do and how I was going to do it differently this time, because I just said I can't be exhausted by this process again. But the good news is that like people had said to me, like, you don't have to work as hard to spread the word as much as you did a year ago, because that word's out there. You look at YouTube right now, there's the lawyer, there's all kinds of lawyers that are running shows right now that are doing a tremendous viewership. I felt like last year, I wanted to almost be like an expansion under the hierarchy of Turtle Boy, where it was like, you have like the family tree, kind of think of it like that. I'm lower on the totem pole, but I kind of wanted to expand what was happening in terms of raising awareness, like Aiden was doing. Aiden was jumping on all shows. I said, I need to do something like that myself. And kind of raise awareness. And I'd go on the Young Jerks. I'd go on Brian LTL. I'd hop on The Glare and multiple other shows. And this year, I don't really feel like I have to do that as much, which is great. I don't feel as much pressure to do that. I now feel like maybe I can be more casual this year and just kind of give my opinion and pray mostly that Karen can get out of this, because it just seems to me like my big fear about this whole trial right now is I'm just paranoid this whole thing's going to end the same exact way it did last year, no matter what happens. So I'm sitting here watching, after work, I catch up, I'm watching cross examinations, direct examinations. I'm sitting there like, this thing's going to go 8 to 10 weeks or more. And at the very end of it, is it going to be another situation where it just ends with we're declaring a mistrial, and then you have a Commonwealth that wants to push this for a third trial? And that is my nightmare scenario. And it is realistic. But at the same time, in my heart and soul, I feel like this may end Karen's way this time. I think that's got a pretty significant chance that's going to happen. But it depends on a lot. And what really unnerves me, and I'm not trying to show fear or doubt here, but I'm just worried about who's behind the scenes pulling the strings, because it seemed to me that a lot of what we saw with the ending of the trial last year seemed to be very orchestrated. And what bothers me the most is that Karen and her team's attempts to take this to higher levels, the appellate courts, the Supreme Courts, whatever, this is all getting kicked back every single time. They're rejecting every plea. They're rejecting everything they can do, which tells me that if anything was orchestrated, and that means that the powers that be with legal authority inside the courtroom and beyond that, even in the county of Norfolk, knew exactly how to end that trial in a manner that no matter how Karen and her team fought it or tried to appeal it, would get kicked back. And that means that what I'm saying is I'm not saying the whole state's corrupt, even though, let's be honest, there's a really big case to make that is certainly the case, right? But it just seems to me that they're kicking it back constantly, and Karen and her team have a sufficient case. Robert Alessi, who I'm a huge fan of, he's really, I'm a fan of all the attorneys, but for me, Robert Alessi is a personal favorite just because I'm a by the book person in terms of taking on a situation like this. And that's not to say Alan Jackson's, I love all the attorneys, but I just like his manner, and Weinberg as well, and just the way they take on their wordings. And the problem I have is that Robert Alessi is going into court and he's arguing everything piece by piece. And a lot of times it's just like deaf ears. And that's what bothers me. But Robert Alessi, thankfully, was able to get Arca in, which was fantastic. I was happy about the ruling there. I was very satisfied with the ruling, but it does bother me that he had to fight Alessi and Karen's defense team had to fight so much to get Arca on board when it was fairly obvious that these particular expert witnesses should have been permitted to be in there from the get-go, and furthermore were expert witnesses that were allowed the last time. But you have a prosecutor who I actually believe, some people might argue he's not a good prosecutor. I actually disagree. I actually think that Hank Brennan is a very good prosecutor on the grounds that if he's annoying you to a point where you're getting frustrated by everything he's technically doing to Karen's team, that means he's stellar at what he does. He's an annoyance to us because he's causing more chaos for Karen's team. But I do think that he's definitely a sufficient upgrade from Adam Lally. I think Adam Lally, I used to call him Adam Lally, who was a 9-to-5er, but Hank Brennan's the kind of guy that you believe is actually sitting around right now, coming up with more ways to give Karen's defense team a hard time. But Karen's defense team is more than willing to take on this prosecutor head to head. And additionally, having Robert Alessi join this team is a huge thing because he is able to give them that extra level of unpredictability. And by unpredictability, he's new. Hank Brennan's new to this, right? It's basically it's like a movie sequel, Yeah. You defeat Loki at the end of the Avengers, but then you learn in the after credit scene that Thanos is being called in. And if Loki can't do it, then Thanos will. Well, basically that's what it's like with Hank Brennan. It's the first trial ends and then there's a call made. Get me Hank Brennan, please. Mm-hmm. And Hank Brennan answers, I'll be there in the morning. It's kind of like that. He's kind of like your sequel character that's been added. And Karen's team is not afraid, but he does present a lot of different angles and a lot of different obstacles that create more work for Karen's team. But again, Karen's team being a super team is ready, willing, and able to take on all challenges because number one, they believe the truth is on their side. But number two, they all have the workability to put in the time and the effort to take on these challenges. And I think with that, again, brings in the addition of Robert Alessi to this trio that can take on a lot of that work. And it is disappointing for me and all of us that Mark Betterow was not pro-hacked in because it would have been amazing to get to see him work his magic in this particular case. But either way, you have Betterow one way or the other. You either have him on shows or you have him right in that courtroom. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win and a lose-lose either way. You get him in one place or the other, win-loss, but you don't get him here or there, win or loss. So that's it. So someone just said, Mazza's talking up a storm. Yes, I am.
Who cares? That's why you're here. I want to hear you to say. It's good. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said, so I know how serious you take this because the first time I went on with you was when that week you got invited to court. And I remember how proud you were of that moment that the Reeds invited you. And I remember how serious you took this. But I do know you have a sense of humor side because we have the same taste in movies when we were growing up. Everything you said, that 25 Christmas list movie show you did, every single one that you hit, I was like, yup, he got it.
Yeah.
And so I know you have that sense of humor, but I think what is so good about you and what people loved about you is that there's no ego involved in any of this with you. You're solely in this for the end result and for the fight. And I think people related a lot to you. Sunday nights at 8, you were always on. I think the regular person just liked tuning into you. I like tuning into you. And you had a perspective that you can't really get anywhere else. There's 1,000 law tubers and each of them are different in their own way. But the Mazza shows, the Sunday night Mazza shows were special. And I get what you're saying too about this being heavy and all that shit. And I don't want to, sound weird and quote fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off here, but this is going to be over one day.
Yeah.
And it's look, you don't look around, you're going to miss it type of thing.
Yeah.
So this is only once kind of thing. And I think if you ever wanted to, again, it's your life, your decision, but I think your voice is valued here, holds weight.
Thank you.
You're not just someone that no one trusts. You're not just some new person coming up that's people like, who is this person? Like,
right.
Your perspective is needed. And I mean, Like, that's why I reached out, because I feel like I begged a little bit. I'm like, I know you're taking a break, but blah, blah. I won't ask. We don't even have to fucking talk about the trial. I won't bring anything up. Just come on and talk, blah, blah.
Right.
And I just like, I think you can't think about trial one and the YouTube community without thinking about Mazza. You can't. And I feel like everyone else thinks that too.
Yeah, I never expected that. Like, I hear people call me an OG, or they're like, I'm like, I just, I understand I'm recognized in certain ways, but other times I don't think my mind ever really comes around to that reality. I kind of, live in my own reality, I guess, of how I, live my life. And then it's like, oh, wow. It's like, I didn't even, I wasn't going to do shows. I was really going to be a permanent no more shows. That was originally the original plan. And then I was like, I didn't expect to, I had to release a statement that night on a Sunday night, because there were so many people texting me and emailing me and inboxing me on X and messaging me. I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't respond to anybody. I began typing a letter to everybody, and I'm like, I didn't realize this was going to cause so much.
It's the true crime community. They do it to themselves. Did you see how they reacted over a fucking rock in a yard? Okay. They everything to them. A cloud looks the wrong way, and they're like, that means she's going to go to jail. That's what that means. They freak out over everything.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like people were commenting, like, where's Mazza? Exclamation point, all caps, question mark. And I was like, can you guys relax? Can a homeboy take a little bit of a break?
I was actually originally planning to release a statement the next day. That was my plan. I'm like, I'm going to relax all weekend. And all of a sudden, people just caught wind of it, and it spread like a wildfire. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, oh, shit. And it was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Sunday. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to do this right now. I was like, my whole plan was like, I'm going to go to work on Monday. After I get done work, I'm going to carefully craft my words, and I'll release a statement. Then all of a sudden, it was such a blow up. And I was like, well, I'm just going to put this out right now and just get there. So I, like I said, about 3 weeks ago, maybe 3.5, 4 weeks ago now, I was already kind of planning it. I'm like, I don't have to walk away. I don't have to stop doing shows. I can do it in different ways, maybe, scale it back if I have to, and just
do whatever you want.
So I kind of had thoughts, and then I was kind of doubts, thoughts, positive, negative, in and out. Then all of a sudden I just, I'd actually planned a couple days earlier to show up on Brian's show, but then that didn't work out. It was a couple days later, and I'm like, he's like, you're going to come back tonight? I'm like, I'll be there tonight. And I go, just don't tell anybody. I go, I want to see the reaction. I want to see the reaction. I'm like, I usually don't prod for reactions. I'm like, I want to see the reaction. And half the chat's like, oh, we knew he was going to be back. So I was happy. And honestly, I don't like, cause I felt like scaling back for the time I did was the right decision.
Yep.
And I also was having doubts about that decision. Like, I have contributed. I don't want to say I've worked or earned this, but I have contributed to everything that's Free Karen Read. I have been actually the word participant I prefer to use, a participant. I have participated in this. And now, I kind of, liken it to watching everybody get on a plane and take off for the trial. And I'm kind of sitting there on the runway watching, or maybe watching from the window. And I kind of felt like Chuck Norris in the movie Delta Force. I played a clip of that on my X page the other day, where the plane's getting ready to leave. They're evacuating, getting ready. And Chuck Norris is bombing down the runway on a motorcycle, a speed bike, and he's trying to board the plane, and they're dropping down a rope to him, and he climbs the rope to get on the plane. So I'm like, I need to get back into some way, shape, or form. Even if it's brief, I decided, well, I'm going to keep going posting on X in the meantime. But then I'm like, all right, I'll get back into the YouTube world, and I'll start to, get back into this. And I let a couple people know. I'm like, by the way, I'm back. Nobody knows it yet. I'm not going to announce it, but I'm going to start to. Mike and Brian knew. Mike and Brian were the two first people that knew, and probably you too, because I agreed to go on your show. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a run at this thing one more time, but I'm gonna do it differently, a little bit differently this time. And again, this is just a big deal, this whole thing, and participating in this means a lot to me, as well as everyone, of course. But this is a big fight that Karen's in, and it's a bigger, badder sequel this time around. It's ugly, and it's a dog fight, and you see some memorable cross-examinations that have taken place so far, and it's been very unique. What I actually do like about Hank Brennan, I always try to say something positive about everyone despite the negativity. I actually do like the order of witnesses better this time around. Instead of it being structured where it was like group by group by group, I kind of like the fact that it's almost like segmented, where they had the Cellbrite guy, then they had the next witness that kind of related to that, because it's giving the defense an opportunity to feed off of that as well while it's fresh in everybody's head. And I do like the order, and I do think that Brennan has structured it in a way that I think the defense can exploit more, because they're kind of putting them together where it's almost like it almost makes more sense for the defense to kind of pick things apart, which is what I like. I didn't like the segmented where it's like firefighter after firefighter, EMT after EMT, cop after cop.
Yep.
Now it's like, I like the fact that it's this way. And like I said, I truly believe that you don't have to hate everything about everybody, despite how we feel about them.
Me too.
But there are some people out there that I would suggest, I can understand why we all might feel negative about certain people 100% with no possible, positiveness to say about it. But in the prosecutor's sense, I do like this order more, because I think they're giving the defense an opportunity to exploit that more as well. So I think that's a positive.
I have what's probably irritating optimism. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way this isn't going to work out okay. Like, too many people know it's out. Like, the worms are out of the whatever the fuck the phrase is. It's out. We know she's going to be fine. I truly believe that. I've heard her say, "Don't pity me. Don't worry about me. I got this." So she's the leader. So I'm like, heard. So I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to have fun then. I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to worry. You're not worried. I'm not worried. Right. So, but Brennan, he's given us fucking season 2 like we've never seen it.
Oh, and you bet. Yeah.
Not like we're sitting here with Lally, like falling asleep, not watching direct examinations. We're watching everything he does.
Yeah. And I did not want to listen to Lally again. I know some people are maybe even more annoyed by Brennan, but at the same particular point, I just, what if anything, who if anyone, I was so tiresome by 2 weeks into the trial, maybe even 1 week into the trial last year. I'm like, I can't listen to this guy again. So a new prosecutor, that's fine. It's a change of pace. I think the back and forths have been a lot more engaging in terms of what is going back and forth between both the prosecution and the defense. So I kind of like the head to head. The only thing I find annoying about this trial is that this is my theory or my perspective. I feel like the uninteresting witnesses from the last trial are even more uninteresting this time. And I think that the interesting witnesses from last trial are even more interesting this time. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of witnesses last year. It's like, okay, this is intriguing. Who is this person? And, once you kind of get the feel for who they are, you find out some of these witnesses are really not that interesting, but other ones are very interesting. And the ones that have kind of come up again, like the Cellbrite guy, Ian Whiffen, it was a snooze fest. There was that other guy that was on earlier in the week. I forget his name already.
Right.
Total snooze fest. It was even worse than last time. But then the interesting people, Jen McCabe, and primarily because you have a witness that was one of the notable witnesses, one of the people that's actively a primary figure in all of this. And you have a situation to hear the comparisons between what they said last time and this time. And I think like a lot of your primary figures are going to be the people that are going to be very much more interesting to listen to, because you're going to see if there's any changes in their story. And you're also going to see how the defense is going to compare what they said last year to this year. And that inherently makes that a more an interesting witness from last year more interesting this year. So it's kind of like it goes both ways. If you're,
if they do compare it, what does that mean? If they don't, what does that mean? We got the M. Night Shyamalan twist of Carrie fucking Roberts turning into Jen McCabe. It's insane. It's fucking insane. But I could sit here and shoot the shit with you for years, but we take a commercial break at a half hour.
That's right.
34 minutes in. So let's take a very quick, 5-minute commercial break. We'll come back and we'll do our interview. And I mean, listen, if you want to just shoot the shit, then we can just shoot the shit for the wee hours. But after about an hour and 15, I get loopy. I get weird. I feel like, all right, I got to get out of this. This isn't real life. Get out of the computer and go into the earth.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but thank
I
you
know
for
that
coming on.
feeling.
Thank you for shooting the shit. We'll come
You
back
got
and we'll play Beyonce My Name. Let me grab the commercial, and I'll see you soon.
Sure.
Your Honor, may I call my next witness? Please. Calls Jennifer McCabe.
A single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
You are unmuted.
I believe Mr. Brennan went into hiding once he heard rumblings that a nagel was afoot.
Yeah, when he hides like that, I call him Ann Hank. Miss Gilman, would you tell me if you didn't like my curtain? Oh, Miss McCabe must be here.
24 miles per hour. I don't. If my nephew can't watch her, we'll have one of my dogs watch Nagel. Did I hear from John after that night? No, Mr. Brennan, he was dead. But what's your excuse?
Your Honor, objection.
You say it snowed inches? Wouldn't know. Carrie's the more take control type. I'm kind of laid back, go with the flow, lackadaisical.
Miss Gilman, did it look like I was checking out Aka?
I wrote my own LinkedIn. She was cleaning her counters. 1 letter in Highlights magazine.
I will not allow you to ask if she gave directions based on Schmariella Sullivan's house.
Lot of top 8s on MySpace.
It wasn't Schmarietta's? Oh, Bella's mother. I get them confused. They're both whores.
Hank, please don't ever get that close to me again, okay? I'm not Bella's mother.
That goes against the Rule 14 obligation.
Then I said, well, maybe he's at Lucky Lofren's, which is what I call Bella's mother, because she's always getting plowed.
Calling her a big slut doesn't make you cool. Make you cool. She was up for best looking at Canton High School. Go Bulldogs. Rumors spread that she had a top-notch grip. A top-notch grip. And was quick to go down. You sunk my battleship. Battleship. She's not Mother Teresa, okay, I'll agree. But who would buy the cow when the milk is always free? Bella's mom, there's something going on. The town pump, oh, you got it all wrong. All the neighbors say that she's always been this way. She likes a little strong, but she loves being Bella's mom. Presenting Auntie Bev's Hip Hop Collection. Jubek Kwame, Hillside, CF's or Waterfall. Slamming back my claws at the places I run to. When's last call? You know that I'm gonna stay forever and not tip out 15% is fine. This side of Mass. Where's my cab? I'll take a claw. All the hits from Auntie Bev on one CD. You loser! Hey, losers. Is that the record on your phone? Yeah, it is, because you're an idiot. Things that whistle blow. You want to fuck this whole thing up? Avoid parole. Just go with the flow. Hey, losers. I'll do it again. I got a way to rig this trial. I'll say. Blame it all on the old butt dial. What can they say? You call them with your ass and you don't need to serve time, because there is no crime. They won't find nothing. Nothing. I gotta clean this whole thing up. All the jams you remember. I'm going to slap lally. Bring your ass right across the face. Walk to Cape Coast, mean Queen of the East. 3rd place unfair, so I prepare. 3rd. Chatham Conservation, stay pressed. I'm the best. Rule Crab Fest with the best. Court recess for the rest. Get over here, Lally. I'm gonna smack you silly. These motherfuckers don't got shit on me, bitch. All this attitude on one CD. Take my advice, follow me. Follow my lead. Now I know you lost your gun. Use the mailbox alibi. Works every time. It's real fun to drink and drive. Yeah, it is. So you don't end up shit canned for being a shitty guy. It's not wrong if you can't remember.
No
I
idea.
said you can't remember. Said you can't remember.
Don't recall.
Just tell the jury that you can't remember.
What happened? I can't tell you. I don't know.
With all the hits you can remember.
You're still messing with me. The BEV.
Oh! Oh! You know who you're fucking with.
Yeah, you do.
It's still BEV.
Still reppin'.
And MCR, Madam
Motherfucker.
Reppin' Norfolk.
You think we
Still
can?
doing that shit, huh, Madam Court?
Damn right.
That's what I thought, bitch.
My courtroom.
Auntie Beb's hip hop.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
That was a ride. You need to make a song called "It's Electric." Higgy, 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 higgy. There you go. There's a song for you right there.
It's electric. But not electric. Some word to do with like diabetic shock or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Higgy, higgy, higgy. Yeah, that's hysterical. I played that because I know you like the Slap You Silly with Lally.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest song ever. That's a
You know
ride.
that's from, right?
Oh yeah. Going to back to back
No,
California.
I'm gonna slap you silly.
Oh, from Home Alone.
On
Home
Uncle
Alone 2,
Frank.
yeah.
Yes.
Get out of here, you nosy little. I'm gonna slap you silly. Oh, you couldn't. Yeah, I remember that.
All right, you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is Beyonce, My Name, a Tyra Banks style interview based off the 2007 or 2008 interview with Beyonce, where it went so bad afterwards she didn't do another interview for basically the rest of her career. Let's see if you survive.
Right.
Okay. Plaza Media. Where do you like to shop?
For clothes?
Yeah.
Or for okay.
Whatever. Your interview. Whatever.
Kohl's. I used to shop at American Eagle in my 20s. Then once I turned 30, I said I think I need to stop. J.C. Penney. I used to be a big J.C. Penney shopper. Those are pretty much my stores. Pretty much your average chains, average stores. Occasionally, I might buy something off Amazon or something like that. My shoes are always NBA. You know, my basketball shoes are always Giannis Antetokounmpo's. I like the way those Nikes feel. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, really, J.C. Penney, mostly Kohl's, quite a bit. So
get him some Kohl's cash. You guys heard it. He likes
There
his
you go,
Kohl's
yeah.
cash.
There
And
we go.
that player you mentioned, I know nothing about sports, but that's the Greek guy, right? That walked every day to practice.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Giannis, yeah.
Yeah, my
Giannis
family
is a
like,
great
loves
player.
him.
He might be out the door in Milwaukee. He might be getting traded to maybe the Lakers or maybe the Celtics. We'll see.
I didn't even know what team he played for. I just knew he was Greek and played basketball.
Yeah.
Jazza Media. What's your favorite genre of music?
I would say synthetic music. Definitely synthetic music. That is for sure. Like synthwave, electronic synthwave music. Oh yeah, you bet. That's a whole counterculture, especially on YouTube, and it's awesome stuff. I like non-lyrics. I saw someone make a comment about me. I don't know who you are, but Harry Stoner.
What happened, Mazza? Don't even look. What they say?
I don't know. I gotta. I'm getting in the mood where I'm ready to start calling people out. I never used to call out comments. Now I'm getting to that point since I've been back where it's like if you get something negative to say about me, who the
You know what I
hell
say?
are
You know what I say to that? You know what I say to Harry Stoner?
Look at you now, watching me, bitch.
There we go. Basically, call them out. Let the comments section take care of them for me. It's like until they see themselves out.
Go
But,
hop on Harry. All right.
Yeah, there we go. Get them. But no, I like synthetic music, synthwave music. I like all that stuff, especially when I'm I just want to chill out. Chill wave tracks, all that stuff. It's awesome.
Good.
Oh, it's incredible. Oh yeah. Good stuff.
Mazza Speedia. Are you a good driver?
Yes.
Mazza
Definitely.
Readia. What's the last book you read?
Oh boy, I don't even know. I don't really read books anymore. I've got to just read online articles all the time, so I don't even remember.
All right. No, that's fine. You don't remember. Mazza Ledia. Does Mike Crawford have a problem?
With what? With weed? He's good. I think he's fine. He's good.
Mazza Cedia. Do you garden?
I do a lot of yard work. I do a lot of chainsawing, weed whacking, lawn mowing. A lot of clipping, pruning, all that stuff. I maintain actually a lot
You
of.
gotta take care of the earth. The earth is
Oh,
here
I do.
for us.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of the earth. You
I do
have
a
to.
lot of yard work. That's one of my hobbies that I like to do, just to get a lot of times just to relax post work, all that stuff. It's like
It's nice. It
take time in the
grounds
yard.
me.
Yeah.
It grounds
Oh,
me.
yeah.
It just like my whole day. If I go for a fucking walk or something on
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice little trail, I'm so good for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Mazza, the retrial of Karen Redia. What has been the most outstanding moment for you so far, or the most stood out to you so much moment so far?
The questioning of Mrs. McCabe about the authorities appearing at her house and the 10 minutes that elapsed, that stood out to me quite a bit.
Oh, I streamed it, so I have like the reaction on there. Bitch, I was on the fucking floor, and you know what? I'm so excited that I'm going to stream it tomorrow morning too. Just her, because I was like, dude, my wig was on the roof of the house. I was shitting my pants down the street. I couldn't fucking believe it. Mazza, what did you ask for Christmas when you were little?
Oh, N64.
Did you get it?
I got it. WCW NWO Revenge, and then I used my grandmother's Christmas cash to get GoldenEye and an extra controller. So
how good was GoldenEye?
GoldenEye was incredible. I used to play that. I used to play a lot of wrestling games when I was in high school because that was really popular. So I had NBA Live.
Me too.
Then I asked for Ghostbusters when I was a kid, a really young kid. I asked for real Ghostbusters figures, and I remember opening it up on Christmas morning, and I always used to guess what the presents were. You know, my parents would get for me, and I remember like, what is this thing? My mother ended up wrapping like 4 Ghostbusters figures all on top of each other, and I opened it up, and it was all 4 of them. I went nuts. That was awesome. I got an Arnold Schwarzenegger Last Action Hero figure one year for Christmas. I didn't even ask for that, but that was a score. My mom hit a home run, grand slam actually with that. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Mazza Stampedia, did you cry at The Lion King?
No, I did get really fired up though, and my favorite moment of that movie is when Rafiki turns into Bruce Lee and just starts going like, you know, wow. But that was a powerful movie. Yeah, it's a big hit in our family. The original 94, 95 one. Yeah, that was the original one. Yeah.
Mazza Human Centipedia.
Oh, geez.
Julie Carpenter, Plevin, and Wendy Murphy, and you have to build a human centipede out of them. Who's going in the front? Who's in the middle? Who's in the back?
I'm gonna have to pass on this question. I don't want.
Oh, done.
Yeah.
I would love to answer.
That's all right. Yeah,
they're all going in the middle.
I don't try to.
You say nice things about people.
Yeah,
that's
I do.
totally fine.
Even though I disagree with all of them, and I don't think they like me very much. And I think 2 of them have blocked me. I don't want to talk about people I disagree with or hate me.
Listen, what you say is the word. What Mazza says is the word here. So we even though we are, I mean, I talk a ton of shit, and I'm a dramatic ass bit, but that's not you. That's not you.
That's all right. Yeah.
Mazza Pedagredia. What's your favorite WWE or WWF finishing move?
Ooh, Stone Cold Stunner.
Hands down?
Yeah, hands down.
Okay, now can I ask, is it the move or is it the head movement he does afterwards when they're on
the all of it. Oh, it's all of it.
It's
the
whole
stunner,
show.
we used to imitate the stunner all the time in high school, and those were my high school years when Austin was big. But Austin was one of my favorite. The Rock Bottom, that was great. You know what? Actually, the Goldberg Jackhammer. That was an awesome one.
He's WCW, right?
WCW.
Yeah. I never got into that. I was a huge fucking Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Huge. Do you remember when Vince McMahon's wife, what's her name?
Linda
was in a coma?
Yeah. And then
remember that whole
yeah. Trish Stratus. Yeah.
Trish Stratus. I miss Jim Ross so much.
It was great.
Like his commentary was unmatched. Mazza Sigfridia. Do you like the circus?
I liked it when I was a kid. I haven't been back, I think, since. But if I did have tickets to go to a circus and I won, I think I would enjoy it thoroughly.
Mazza Sophidia. What Golden Girl are you?
Oh, I don't even know who they are. I know Betty White, and then I know one of the oldest lady was actually Stallone's mother in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I remember that, but it was the tall one that's angry all the time. I'll just go with her.
Dorothy.
Okay, I'll just go with her.
B. Arthur.
Never really watched that show. It's one of those shows that you never really watch, but it's like Frasier. I never really watched Frasier, but you know all the people that are on this show. You know?
Frasier's so good. Frasier and Golden are like my favorite show.
With Cheers, yeah.
Cheers. I love Frasier. I love Frasier and Golden Girls. All right, Mazza Panchedia. How do you unwind?
Music, walking, yard work, sometimes video games, but I don't play as much as I used to by any stretch. Actually, since I got into the Karen Reed case, my video game life has gone downhill. But NBA 2K is my favorite video game, and then that's about it. Yeah.
Mazza Meatia is an all chicken wing based diet recommended by doctors.
No, I wouldn't recommend it at all. I only eat chicken wings about twice a week tops. Yeah, it's usually on a Friday or a Saturday. Yep.
Mazza Encyclopedia. Who do you think is the smartest person you've met so far in the Free Karen Reed movement?
That's a supporter or an attorney. Attorneys prohibited.
Give us one of each.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's tough to pick an attorney over everyone. I'm gonna go with Robert Alessi as smartest, and then in terms of, I'm gonna go with Bettero for the Free Karen Reed movement. Even though I'm gonna pick a supporter too. I'll go with Rita Lombardi for like a supporter that's like boots on the ground. So I'll go with
Rita, Bettero, and Alessi. All right, now if you had to put them in a human centipede, no, I'm kidding.
Come on.
All right.
Next question. Moving on. My goodness.
Rita's like, I get the end. All right.
Yeah.
Mazza Nefertitia. Do you believe the pyramids were a tomb or something more?
I believe that there was an old world that existed, and I think that it was different than our. Like I'm talking like ancient civilizations, and that they were built. There's been alien rumors, but I think these were man-made. Even though it's hard to believe that the Sphinx was man-made and crafted that well, it almost wonders if maybe technology was more advanced at some point in the past, and then we had like a reset, a great reset. And
of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Look at the geomancy of everything, how everything's set up and pointed at the stars and all this shit. We don't know shit compared to what we knew back then. We don't know shit.
Well, the Sphinx itself is not only well designed, the artwork in that is insanity, but beyond that, you'd also have to have the technological ability to actually physically craft something like that, which means you know how to morph the stone. You'd have to have the tools to do it. It's a pretty advanced thing. That's for sure.
I think like there's so much we don't know, but I mean, I could get into that for so long. All right.
Yeah.
One more. Actually, one more, and then I'm going to add one. One more. Mazza, you're doing great, sweetie. Who is your favorite Kardashian?
Kim. I used to, way back when, I had the hots for her way back when she was, before they got annoying, before they got, I don't want to listen to them anymore, but yeah, I was big on Kim. Like around 2008 to 2012, somewhere in there, I was big on her for
when her movie came out.
I never saw the movie.
Because that's the time. So
you mean disaster movie? No, I was kidding.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. And then I want to ask you. We got to ask you, Mazza, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, right now or historically?
Both.
Well, right now I'd say it's Margot Robbie. Definitely well, it's probably like three women right now. Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, of course, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. And I'd say this is kind of a wild card pick, but I'd say Allie Larder from Landman. She was a big high school actress back when I was in high school. All time,
yeah,
probably Nicole Kidman back when she was in Batman.
In Batman,
yeah, when she was in Batman, I saw that in the movie theater for my birthday, and it was like the second she was on screen. She was kind of like the Margot Robbie of her day, in my opinion. So her, and then actually Courtney Cox. I had the hots for when she was in Ace Ventura and Scream. I never really watched Friends back then. I only watched it casually here and there, but Courtney Cox definitely too.
I'm surprised you didn't say, and this is because of Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
I never really was into her. Her and Kim Basinger, not so much. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't really. I like Uma Thurman when she was Poison Ivy. Definitely had an instant crush on her for a while, but yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. I think the character was just too dark and really out there, and it was kind of like, I don't think I was too into that.
That's probably when like I realized I was gay, because I was like I want to be Selena Kyle. Like I want to fucking go through this. I want to jump out my window. I want to make a suit with nails in it. I want to go fuck people up and do this. And it, like the whip that she had, it would like people from all over.
Right.
It was
when she takes the head off the mannequin in the store there, that's nuts. Yeah.
The cat, the mannequin, and then she did something with the cat, or was that Oswald Cobblepot?
Tic-tac-toe on the face, right? To the
yes.
dog in the alley. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Mazza. Well, Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and playing and having the interview. All right, let me say hi to the people, and then we'll be on our way. We got some new members here. Sandy, thank you for coming a dramatic gay bitch. Thank you. Connie, thank you. The Goodmans, there's 2 of them. 2 Goodmans, 1 membership. I don't know Goodmans. I feel like you're trying to jip me here. I feel like you're trying to jip me. Mama say, Mama Kusa says, yay for this collab. Well, it was once again last year. The people loved it, and we had to do it again. Karen, you will be free, I promise. Karen became a new member. Carla became a new member. Welcome. April, what a blast you are, Auntie Deb. Mazza, squishy pants.
There we go.
Is that a thing?
I don't know what that means.
Me neither. But we'll let them have it.
I'm actually going to go to Google or UrbanDictionary.com to figure that out. I'm behind on my terms.
I don't know what that squishy pants. I don't know. Maybe maybe we said it. Who the hell knows? Blanche was a hoe, and we should all be so lucky. Blanche was a hoe, but we love Blanche. That's from the Golden Girls. And
that's funny.
Ryan says, Megan Easton, why are YouTube chats holding us apart? Thank you for reading, Jimmy. I don't know what that means, but if you and Megan want to go have your, I don't know, lesbian YouTube love affair, go right ahead, hon. I'm not going to stop you. All right, Mazza, anything else you want to say to people before we say goodbye?
Other than that, free Karen Reed. Continue to pour out support and do what you guys do best and what you guys like to do, which is support Karen and make a donation to Karen's Defense Fund. Also, if you can make a donation to Turtle Boy Aiden Carney's Defense Fund as well, that'd be awesome as he continues his fight for freedom and journalism.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Guys, have a nice night. Tomorrow, I am going to be watching the trial, and I am going to be watching it right here because it's fucking Jen. It's season 2 Jen, and we don't know what to expect. All right, so have a good one. Talk to you guys later. Mazza, thank you for coming on.
Take care.
I would never. I'm a dumb top. Girl, bye.
Bye. Bye. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Girl, bye.